the natural instinct counterintuitively is to forget Hashem. I mean, I think it comes from a pasuk in Mishlei, that the pasuk says, "Pen esba, lest I become satisfied. V'chichashti v'amarti mi Hashem," and I'll forget, and I'm going to say, "Who is Hashem?" It's a pasuk in Mishlei. That is the natural thing that a Kadosh Baruch Hu put in the Bria. And we all know the famous joke. I mean, at this point, I'm sure you've all heard it, especially in these kinds of settings a bunch of times, with the guy who's late for a meeting in Manhattan. And don't stop me if you heard it, because I'm going to tell it anyway. But hoping that maybe somebody hasn't heard it. But the guy's late for his meeting in Manhattan, and he's driving. And in New York, of course, you have to figure out your 50 different routes on your way. And then when you get there, you tell people about which route to take. I don't know much about New York, but I know they're into their traffic patterns. But this guy's saying, oh my gosh, such an important meeting. If I'm not there on time, I'm so hosed. And somehow he figures out the right route to get there. And he pulls up to the building just in time for his meeting. But now he's got to park, and parking in Manhattan, of course, absolutely impossible. And as he's approaching the building, he goes, God, I'm not a religious guy. I know that I haven't, spent much time, keeping kosher or, coming to shul or anything. But if you can just find me a parking spot, if you would just do that, I promise. Every Saturday morning, I'm going to Saturday services, and I'm going to have the best mock crab, I'm all in. And as he is uttering these beautiful, heartfelt prayers to Akash Baruch Hu, miraculously, right in front of the building, somebody pulls out of a legal parking space, and he's got it right there. He's gonna be in time for his meeting, at which point he turns to God and goes, never mind, I found one. Right? That's the classic. The moment we get something, it's like, okay, and whether that's because I expect good things to happen, that's how we're built. But nevertheless, that's the challenge of joy. Now, I would love to come back and we can talk about davening from a perspective of joy and the amazing things that can happen when we do that. But it means there's an extra effort that comes to overcome this tendency to get things, feel satisfied like that cow, so to speak, who suddenly we've got what we need, and it's like, oh, we're satisfied. That's our physical side of us. We have to engage our spiritual side to overcome that. But when it comes to bitzur, like you ladies said, the natural tendency when we're feeling distress, no atheists in foxholes, we absolutely turn to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And that's true. You get plenty of people who might not be inclined to ask for help. I mean, those of you who are married to guys, and guys like classic, they don't ask for directions, and I got this. The house is on fire, the car is blown up. I got this. Plumbing, this guy. Have you ever done any plumbing? No, but I can do this. Guys do have a tendency not to really ask for help, and some of us are more stubborn than others. This is not autobiographical. I am, after 32 years, I ask all the time because I've been trained that way. But even when it comes to those of us who are stubborn and inclined not to ask, if the situation is dire enough, Hashem built us in a way that we're going to. Somebody who might not ask for himself, yeah, I'm a little tight, I should ask for a loan, I don't really want to do that. But chas v'shalom, a sick child, all of a sudden that guy who is really reluctant to ask anyone for help in the most serious of situations, even he, it's just a question of breaking down the barriers, but we all have that instinct.